Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. What an exciting day. We have a lot going on, right? We have the DJI See the Bigger Picture event. I don't know about you guys, but I've been following all along, and I think we know a lot about it, but it will be interesting to see what we actually know about it. If any of the leaks were actually true, what was wrong, what was right. I think one of the most important things is going to be is how much is it going to cost. Let's see if I can switch over and show you a little something, some of my thoughts. Hey Dan, how you doing? Todd, Tony, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So we will be trying to stream the actual event here on this channel. So I'll be putting it in a window, something along these lines. Hopefully you guys can see that. So the video, the live event should be playing here. That is the hope, and that we can have a conversation in the chat about it. Once they start talking, I'm going to try and not say a whole lot. I may inject a whole lot, but I really want, you know, in terms of, you know, being able to hear it and listen to it and so on. I don't want to, you know, overtalk what they're having to say. I do have to say that the video that will be played here, of course, that's DJI's event. I don't own that or anything like that, so I just want to make that clear. Hopefully, just using this under fair use, you know, will work out all right. I think it should. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers do Apple events and so on, so I think we should be okay there. But you know, I'm just excited. I'm really excited to see what they come out with. I'm really excited to see, do they have any sort of you know, one more thing up their sleeve. So this is what I'm going to be looking for here is you know, price. So you know, the rumors have been is the Zoom going to be more? There's been rumors the Zoom is going to be more than the Pro. Is that really going to be true? And I'm interested to see if it is that way. You know, how does DJI kind of market that, and how do they kind of put that, you know, how do they put that in the forefront? You know, how do they say that one's worth more? I think for a long time everybody was just assuming that the Zoom was going to be going on. All right, Bob, you're saying you can't hear. All right, let me see if I can turn. Is this any better? Can you guys hear any better? I'm seeing you guys can't hear the audio. Is this any better, or should I Hopefully, hopefully this works. Let me try and change the microphone as well. Let's go to this microphone. Change that. Is that any better? I just changed from using this microphone to microphone up there, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, keep letting me know what you think. And once we get the audio from the live stream going, I'm interested to see what you think. Keep letting me know how it's going. Thanks for the feedback, guys. Appreciate it. Camera filters, yeah. So that's one of the last things I got on my stuff I'll be looking for. So let me try and run through that. So price, of course, you know, what's it going to be? That's really the most important thing. Is, you know, if they're going to charge $2,000 for this, then I'm probably out, right? So you know, what's the price point? You know, there's been a lot of rumors thrown around, $12.99, $14.99. You know, what is the price going to be? I don't think anybody really has a good understanding of that. Which one's going to be more expensive? I think a lot of people really expected for the Pro to be the more expensive one, right? I think you just kind of assume, well, it's the Pro. Pro is the highest level one, but you know, is that really going to be the case? How are they going to market the Pro versus the Zoom? How are they going to differentiate them? Is the only differentiation the difference in the cameras, right? We assume that the Pro is going to have that 1-inch sensor that hopefully is going to create a higher dynamic range. It's got the Hasselblad branding on it. The Zoom has, you know, supposedly a 2x optical zoom and a 2x digital lossless zoom. Are those really going to be what what the specs are going to be? And are there any other differences between the two aircraft? Of course, with the zoom, you'll be able to do, if it does have that zoom, it'll be able to, do the dolly zoom feature is one of the things, and we see that in some of their marketing videos they've already came out with. So yeah, so let's see. Jeff, new pics on Facebook, rear sensors and side sensors. Yeah, there'll be, they say omnidirectional sensors, but the question is there going to be any sort of sensing on top of it? There's, I think all the leaks for the pictures have shown, side and rear sensors, but is there going to be one on top of it in any way? The other thing I'll be looking for is how are they going to market that Hasselblad? So Hasselblad, of course, is famous for medium format cameras. Medium format cameras have huge sensors. We're not talking the little tiny sensors, that are like this big. We're talking, big sensors that really collect a lot of light. So it'll be interesting to see how they market that. I'll be interested to see, what they have to say around that in terms of, what's Hasselblad's involvement in this? Did they just design it? What's their involvement in it? DJI, of course, basically bought Hasselblad about a year ago, and yeah, I think it was back in January of 2017, if I remember right. And so I've been expecting them to try and start utilizing that investment. So it'll be interesting to see how they market it. How's that really going to play out? And then what's the RC look like? What's the remote control look like? Is it going to be like the Mavic Pro, the first generation Mavic Pro, where it has an LCD screen on it with flight telemetry data on it? Or is it going to go the route of like an Autel Evo that has an OLED screen on it where you can actually see the camera, display through it, and you can basically fly it? Or is it going to go back to like the Mavic Air route with no camera on it? Is it going to be a significant redesign of the remote control, or is it going to be similar to the Mavic Pro, Spark, Mavic Air style? They've been pretty consistent with that style, or are they going to go a totally different route? So cameras, right? It looks like in all the leaked pictures, it looks like the only thing that's different between the two models is the camera that's hanging there, right? The gimbal even looks pretty similar in all the pictures that I've seen. So it'll be interesting to see, is there going to be any other differences, and if so, is there a possibility of interchangeable cameras, right? And then, in terms of those cameras, the Zoom's camera, in terms of the leaked pictures, it looks very similar to some of the existing cameras that makes it look very easy to put traditional ND filters on there and polarizers. Is there going to be anything else? Or kind of, sorry, I kind of got distracted there by the chat. So what about the Pro version, that Hasselblad camera, right? The pictures of it just look different, and I think there's a lot of questions around how will ND filters work and polarizing filters work with that. In the video that I posted yesterday, if you haven't seen it, go check the channel. I did a video where I kind of went through and talked about all the leaks that I'm aware of right now, the latest as of yesterday. And I was talking about the fact that it looks like the leaks are saying that it's going to have a mechanical aperture, which, as I've talked about in several videos, is kind of like your eye, right? Your iris controls how big your pupil is, that opening, and how much light it lets in, right? When you're outside and it's really bright, your pupil gets really small. When you're inside and it's dark, your pupil gets really big. That's kind of what aperture is. It controls how much light gets in. And I'd kind of mentioned that you may not necessarily need ND filters because that mechanical aperture, that's kind of stretching the truth a little bit, because having that aperture really helps. So it may cut down how high of a level of ND filter you need, but for the Pro, the people who are really serious about their videos and videography and getting cinematic look, they probably still will want that ND filters, and photographers will probably want to put polarized filters on there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. And then if the Zoom and the Pro do have interchangeable cameras, right? If there's some sort of way that you can interchange them and you can remove them and swap them out, how much is going to be the cost for those? And then if they talk about that, then the question is there going to be some sort of like an Osmo kind of handheld type of device that goes with that? One of the first leaked pictures had a little device sitting on the table with a camera gimbal kind of attached to it, and there was a lot of speculation around that. And if you go out and look at the DJI forum, forum.dji.com, they are actually running. They're running they're running a contest, nose to the ground, eyes to the sky, and they're talking about, it's basically a contest centered around this event, the See the Bigger Picture event, where they're talking about capturing the same thing from the ground and the air. And so that's one thing right here that makes me kind of think that maybe there's going to be kind of a Steve Jobs-esque, Apple-esque, one more thing type thing. There's going to be some sort of like maybe a handheld device. So that's something I'm kind of looking for. Maybe I'm way off, but just trying to put together some of the different pieces there. So so that's really really some of the things that I'm looking for. What else are you guys kind of looking for? What are you guys going to be interested to see? So let's see. And I'm really bad at keeping up with the chat and trying to talk. I can barely do one thing at a time. I can't even do one thing well at a time. So trying to talk and look at the chat at the same time is always a challenge for me. So if I miss you, I really apologize for it, guys. So Mike, there's your little wrench, I think. Hopefully I did that right. Sorry I missed you yesterday on that. Anyway, so yeah, I think we're getting super close here to the event. I'm going to switch over here. We got 1:48. Let's see what they got to say here.
For more than a decade,
this is the
we've taken the dimension of space to give you the freedom of flight.
Let me know how the audio is
on
this.
Did you think we'd stop
this is
there? Let us take you beyond.
See, that's the dolly zoom, right?
Where something incredible awaits. It's about time.
That's a dolly zoom. That canyon right there, those red rocks, is the dolly zoom. So I'm interested to see how that really works out.
For more than a decade, we've taken the dimension of space.
We don't need to keep playing that over and over.
Of flight.
Oh, looks like they've switched the event to the live view there. Be curious. They switched away from it.
We've taken the dimension of space.
Go ahead and mute that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, hey, David Walker, welcome from Ireland. Appreciate you joining. Randy, appreciate you joining. Hasselblad cameras used to be on many space flights. Yeah, Hasselblad are amazing devices. They've been around for a long time. Yeah, they've done some amazing things. So it'll be interesting to see how that really plays in. Hit Swagger Shep. Apologize if I'm saying that terribly. Hello. Appreciate you joining us from the Netherlands. Checkmark 0. Hi. Appreciate you joining from New Jersey. Easy Flyer from Florida. Got all kinds of people joining. Appreciate it. I'm curious. Do you guys see any of the? Do you guys see any of the usual YouTubers in the crowd there? So let's see. What else we got going on? So what else are you guys looking for? That's what I'm curious to know is, what are you guys looking for? I kind of threw out there, some of the stuff that I'm looking for. What are you guys looking for? Um, I see Tassos from Greece. Appreciate you joining. James. Ooh, Typhoon H Place. Typhoon H Plus. Yep. $2,000. Yep. Have you flown it yet, James? I'm curious to know what you think of the Typhoon H Plus. Seems like it's got a great camera, a lot going for it. I think the biggest concern with that was around the price as well as the distance on it. Oh, I just saw a big old Ronin steady cam going through there. All right, so should make that full screen there. All right. Ooh, Iraq. Yeah, I can imagine it's going to be expensive there. Thanks for joining. The Intel RealSense, is that's the avoidance system, right, James? In terms of the Intel RealSense. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, I think an OLED display on the remote like the Evo would be awesome. I think that would be something that DJI would be looking to do, but it's interesting. Yeah, Jenna, you definitely have the credit card ready to go. I got my wallet right here, and at some point I may while they're talking, I may have to pop over and try and make me a little purchase. So let's see. Mavic 2 introduces RealSense or APAS. It needs it. Yeah, the rumors, James, is that it will have APAS 2.0. Now, how that's different from APAS that's on the Mavic Air, that will be interesting to see. So yeah. Yeah, so that's the live event being streamed there. Yeah, David Walker, you think a new app? I think a lot of people keep talking about getting a new app. That would be interesting. A lot of people are saying that the DJI Go 4 is getting too bloated, so it'll be interesting to see how all that goes. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in supporting the channel here, I left you a link. I think it's in the description, as well as one of the first comments with my affiliate link. If you guys are interested in buying anything from DJI today, I would love for you to use that, and I get a little bit of a kickback from DJI on it. It helps me be able to afford to buy drones, to be able to do reviews and show you guys and a lot of the stuff, and be able to do my tutorials and so on, and learn and be able to share with you guys in terms of on YouTube and forums and Facebook, and really try and participate a lot in all those. So yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in buying, I'd really appreciate you using that affiliate link. If you're ever buying, and whether it's today or sometime in the future, hit up one of my affiliate links. I got a lot of affiliate links in both Amazon and DJI. I appreciate it. Yeah, so let's see what else we got. Alex, appreciate you joining from London. Spy drones, 7.8 crystal sky fit. That's a good question. I would love to get a crystal sky, wouldn't you guys? Crystal sky, the brightness of it, just trying to fly on these devices is, the phones just are not bright enough. I'm always struggling with that, so I'd love a crystal sky. Marlo, do you think Mavic improved the CMOS? Certainly for the Pro, if they've come through with the 1-inch sensor, I think that's going to be big. I talked about in some of my videos yesterday, a live view or live stream, as well as a video yesterday that I published. 1-inch sensor, the sensor size is one of those things that, in a lot of things, size doesn't necessarily matter, but in this case, sensor size usually And there's exceptions to the rule, but usually a larger sensor size generally means you're going to have better images, whether that's still pictures or video. It's really just one of those things that it's just more surface area to capture light. So that's really what it's all about. And whenever they get started here, guys, I'm just going to kind of be quiet for the most part. Try not interrupt what they have to say too much. And again, the stream that you're seeing in the upper left window is DJI content. That's not mine. They own that. Just trying to have a little watch party here. So it looks like they got some music going on. Here they come.
Good morning and welcome to everyone in the room and to the thousands of viewers that are joining us from around the world online today. I know it's early out there for those of you who are on the West Coast, and it's a very late night for those of you joining us from across the Pacific, but we are so thankful that you're here with us today. I'm Michael Oldenburg, Product Communication Lead here at DJI, and today we're going to talk about some incredible new products. In fact, some of you may have already seen a few images of these products. You might even know some of the features and the specs, but I can tell you that they don't compare to what you're about to see today. We believe that these products are going to inspire your creativity and open a whole new world of possibilities for drone technology, because that's what DJI is all about. Since our beginning 12 years ago, our mission has been to create aerial and handheld imaging technology that allows anyone to capture amazing images that were never possible before. And we make this groundbreaking technology accessible to anyone because it can do more than just take photos and videos, like this one of K2, the second highest mountain summit in the world. It was shot last month by mountaineer and drone pilot Bartek Bargil with the DJI Mavic Pro. This image is absolutely incredible because it's shot at an altitude of 26,700 feet.
Wow.
Where most humans have never been before. And it's well over the 16,000 foot altitude that Mavic Pro was designed to fly. While this image was making headlines around the world for its jaw-dropping perspective, another story was already developing. Another climber named Rick Allen had gone missing during a solo attempt to set a new route on nearby Broad Peak. Unable to find him, his fellow climbers thought he had died. But in fact, Rick had survived a 100-foot fall and spent nearly 36 hours hanging on to the side of the mountain, waiting and hoping to be rescued. Having just flown his Mavic to capture that image of K2, Bartek heard about Rick and used his DJI Mavic Pro to help find him. Here you can see footage from the drone as it approached the area where they thought Rick might be. The live view confirmed that Rick was alive, and the GPS coordinates from the drone helped emergency teams determine his exact location to plan a daring mountain rescue. Now I'm happy to tell you that Rick survived, suffering not much more than a few cuts and a little bit of frostbite. And as amazing as it is, Rick's story of a drone being used to help save his life is not unique. In fact, we've been keeping track of how many people have been rescued with the help of a drone. We're at 144, with more being added every month. It's stories like these that fuel our passion for innovation, that push our teams to the limit when designing new drone technology. We've pushed relentlessly to create products that are easy to use, portable enough to go with you almost anywhere, and powerful enough to capture epic moments in stunning detail. That's why DJI drones and the Mavic Pro in particular have become essential tools alongside DSLR cameras in the gear bags of many of today's top content creators, including photographers, videographers, and journalists. And we're excited that you've joined us today to see the bigger picture. It was almost 2 years ago that we introduced Mavic Pro to the world as the world's first foldable camera drone. Its revolutionary design made it so small and portable that you could slip it into a camera bag and take it with you almost anywhere. And its powerful camera captured impressive photos and videos like these. Mavic Pro proved that, like the camera on your cell phone, the best flying camera is simply the one you can take everywhere. And it quickly became the world's #1 selling drone. But there's a funny thing about Mavic Pro. As the rest of the world was exploring all of the new creative possibilities that it created, our engineering team was already hard at work, thinking about how we could make it better. During this process, we asked content creators what they wanted most. A more versatile camera that broadens the variety of creative shots that can be captured. Better flight performance to fly faster and longer. And an improved obstacle sensing system to let you focus more on capturing the perfect shot. Our R&D team went back to the drawing board, reviewing every element of Mavic Pro. It took us over 2 years, and along the way, we invested over half of our R&D team into the process. The ask was simple. Improve everything about Mavic Pro. Make it fly better, faster, quieter. Make the camera do more, from the performance of the sensor to how it flies through the air. Enhance what you love about the original Mavic, and add new features that unleash more creativity. And to make this drone live up to the Mavic name as the ultimate drone for creators who want to capture something incredible using a tool they can fit in their bags. The Mavic Pro set a high standard for us, and in its next iteration, I believe we've created something truly special. Let's take a look. This is the DJI Mavic 2 series. They come with your choice of 2 camera options, and they're the most technologically advanced consumer drones we've ever made. And they're optimized in every way to help you create stunning aerial photos and videos. When we reimagined our flagship drone, we started with the camera and the gimbal because we noticed 2 things. First, like the image behind me, the majority of aerial content is shot at dawn and dusk when lighting is most dramatic. This meant that the camera needed to be able to capture dynamic, often dimly lit scenes with more precision. And second, we noticed that the vast majority of aerial content today focuses on broad establishing shots like landscapes. To go beyond landscapes, you need a camera that's capable of emphasizing a specific subject. To address the first challenge, we created a more powerful camera. One with a sensor that gives superior performance across a variety of lighting conditions. Creating something this small that could fly on the airframe the size of Mavic 2 was an incredible design challenge. And to overcome it, we formed a very close partnership with one of the world's most respected camera manufacturers. We call this new drone Mavic 2 Pro. Mavic 2 Pro is the world's first drone with an integrated Hasselblad camera. And we're excited to have senior executives from Hasselblad here with us today. So thank you, John Deal and Diane DiVincenzo, for joining us for this historic moment in aerial imaging technology. You won't find another drone of this size that shoots higher quality images. It has a 1-inch CMOS sensor that delivers detailed 20-megapixel photos with an adjustable aperture right from the track wheel on the remote from f2.8 to 11. It gives you the flexibility to capture great images in bright or dim lighting conditions so that you can shoot all day, especially at sunrise and sunset. It captures ultra-high definition 4K video and produces outstanding image quality with higher color depth, dynamic range, and resolution than any Mavic before it. And because it's a Hasselblad, you have access to their advanced color science. That means that you have access to the Hasselblad natural color solution for improved color and tonality in your photos. For cinematographers, Mavic 2 Pro gives you an exceptional degree of latitude in post-production. It captures 10-bit D-Log M video with 4 times as many levels of color per channel when compared to the 8-bit video found on Mavic Pro, giving you more flexibility in post without degrading the image. It also captures HDR video and supports the hybrid log gamma HDR standard, letting you play video straight from the drone onto a compatible HLG monitor with higher dynamic range and better color performance without spending time on post-production grading. To solve the second challenge of moving beyond these establishing shots, we created a camera that allowed you to get close to the action, because you need to be able to fly low, to fly close, and at the same time, not disturb the subject. This is a challenge for any drone. And like a professional photographer who pulls out a long focus lens when they can't get close enough to the subject, now, so does your DJI drone. We call this new drone Mavic 2 Zoom. It's the world's first foldable consumer drone with optical zoom. With an equivalent 24 to 48 millimeter optical zoom, plus 2 times digital zoom, it gives you an effective 96 millimeter telephoto lens for 4K lossless zoom at full HD video resolution. And its 1/2.3 sensor captures 4K video and 12 megapixel photos. The result is that we have an entirely new tool for storytelling, one that allows you to create things that capture a subject from a safe distance. With zoom, you can not only emphasize the subject, but also compose a classic image, one with a clear subject in front of a vast background like this one, with compression. This means the difference between a flat-looking aerial shot you've seen 1,000 times and being able to create using the cinematic language of Hollywood productions. Now for photographers, Mavic 2 Zoom lets you capture stunning landscapes, like this photo with a new feature we call Super Resolution. Super Resolution automatically captures a gigantic 48 megapixel image of what you see in your 24 millimeter field of view. Using optical zoom, it shoots and stitches 9 photos together for an incredibly detailed image. All of the image processing and computational photography is done right on board the drone, so you don't have to spend time editing and stitching your photos at home. Across the Mavic 2 series, we've boosted their abilities to capture video as well. Each has a maximum bitrate of 100 megabits per second and can shoot using the new H.265 codec, meaning videos shot on Mavic 2 give you more flexibility and latitude in your post-production workflows. And your photos are going to stand out too, with Mavic 2's new enhanced dynamic range capabilities. Using eHDR, the drone takes a series of photos at different exposure levels, generating an image with high dynamic range that removes blown-out highlights and flat shadows. It delivers an incredible 13 stops of dynamic range for Mavic 2 Zoom and 14 stops for Mavic 2 Pro. And here, the results are absolutely stunning. This new feature is going to give you more ways to use Mavic 2 to capture professional quality images across a broad spectrum of lighting conditions. We couldn't be more proud of these 2 new cameras, because with Mavic 2 Zoom, we think having optical zoom at your fingertips is going to be a game changer, opening up new genres of aerial content. And Mavic 2 Pro's Hasselblad camera gives you the imaging power to create with more detail across a wider variety of lighting conditions than ever before. Back in 2012, when flying a camera was a new technique, the unique perspective a drone provided worked like a magic wand. Aerial images would automatically get a wow from anyone who saw them. 6 years later, with millions of camera drones out there and hours of aerial content created every day, it's much more difficult to impress. Content creators told us they want more magic. They want freedom, just like the Freedom Phantom offered, to move a camera anywhere in 3-dimensional space. So we asked ourselves, What could we do? What more could we offer? And we decided on the fourth dimension of time with a new feature called hyperlapse. Hyperlapse is a technique that for a long time only professionals could master. It requires movement of the camera with expensive equipment such as tracks and pods, and frequently you're creating a shot that moves just a few feet. But with the help of a new algorithm and a more powerful onboard processor, Mavic 2 can capture aerial hyperlapses with a track length of not feet, but kilometers. And it processes the images into video literally on the fly. This feature is based on Mavic 2's ability to self-locate, estimate its attitude, and precisely track subjects. It's a big technological achievement and a huge creative achievement as well, because now producing a professional quality aerial hyperlapse is as easy as just one tap. We've created 4 hyperlapse modes, so you have creative freedom to capture the shot that's just the right look. Free, circle, course lock, and waypoint. With free mode, you have complete freedom to fly as you'd like. With circle, the drone automatically flies in a circular pattern around a subject you select to create a video that captures the action. And course lock keeps the camera fixed on your subject while the drone flies in a straight path to create a unique perspective. With waypoint, you can plan a flight path based on GPS coordinates and altitude to capture something incredibly complex, shots like this one. And for all of these modes, we're working to introduce a task library function that saves the flight plan for future shots, letting you create even more unique content like that dramatic blending of day to night. Or this hyperlapse of a Manhattan skyline that was shot yesterday and came directly from the drone without any color grading or editing. This visual effect that was once reserved for professionals now belongs to everyone. Our next feature is a truly exciting addition to the full suite of quick-shot modes that DJI offers. For new content creators with limited drone flying experience, quick shots help you easily create smooth, powerful, cinematic camera moves. Just one tap sends the drone on a pre-programmed flight path while the drone automatically tracks the subject along the way. We've kept your favorites from Spark and Mavic Air, including Droney, Circle, Helix, Rocket, Boomerang, and Asteroid, and we've added one more. This new quick shot is amazing, and we created it specifically for Mavic 2 Zoom. You've seen it on the big screens in movies directed by some of the most iconic names in Hollywood, including Alfred Hitchcock, Steven Spielberg, and Martin Scorsese. It's an effect that's been used in the film industry for over 60 years, but it's been limited to those with access to professional camera gear. It's my favorite quick shot yet, and it's called Dolly Zoom. Dolly Zoom lets you bring an otherworldly warped perspective to your storytelling. With just one tap, the drone zooms in as it flies backward, keeping the subject the same size while the full background of the scene is revealed. It adds suspense and drama to any story. With Dolly Zoom, Mavic 2 now has 7 quick shots to choose from, and we think you're going to love having all of them available at your fingertips. At the core of our intelligent features like hyperlapse and quick shots is our Active Track technology. Active Track uses complex algorithms, machine learning, computer vision, and artificial intelligence to identify and automatically follow a subject. And with Mavic 2, we gave Active Track even more power. Unlike Mavic Pro, which could only see tracked objects in 2 dimensions, Mavic 2 uses all 3 forward-facing cameras to see what's in front of it and create a 3D map. New trajectory algorithms analyze motion and predict your subject's paths up to 3 seconds in the future, so your subject stays in the frame even if it momentarily goes behind an object like a tree. And it can keep pace with fast-moving action scenes as well. Now, Active Track can track subjects moving as fast as the drone can fly, making this car chase possible to film entirely using Active Track. We created these intelligent features on Mavic 2 to help you broaden your creative language for visual storytelling. Whether you're using hyperlapse to capture the passing of time, quick shots to help you capture a cinematic effect, or using active track to keep your camera locked on the subject. It serves a larger goal. It's the goal we set for everything we did with Mavic 2, and that's giving you the tools and the confidence to make your creative vision a reality. When we asked photographers what they wanted most from a drone other than a new camera and more intelligent features, the simple answer was, make it as close to a DSLR as you possibly can. That is to allow them to focus on composing the shot without worrying like things like battery power, flight time, obstacle collisions, and to have a sharp and reliable preview of the shot just like the DSLR in their hand. I have to admit, this is a challenge for our R&D team. Along the journey in creating Mavic 2, countless prototypes were made and evaluated. The result is a new drone that's been optimized in every way. It flies longer, faster, and quieter, all in the same shape as the Mavic's iconic folding design. Like Mavic Pro, it's almost the same size as a water bottle, letting you slip it in your backpack or camera bag to take it anywhere. Its redesigned, more aerodynamic airframe reduces body drag by up to 19% compared to Mavic Pro. The propellers have a raked wingtip design that improves efficiency and reduces noise, and we've added more powerful motors. They're some of the quietest we've ever created. Advanced electronic speed controllers use sine wave current to create maximum torque with minimal noise. This is a huge advancement for drone technology, and these innovations make Mavic 2 one of the quietest, most power-efficient drones of its size. These innovations deliver a record-breaking flight time of up to 31 minutes. Every single minute is one more minute for you to carefully compose your image or fly your path again for better timing. And because Mavic 2 is significantly quieter, you can get closer to your subject like this polar bear without causing a disturbance. This means you can also fly at speeds of up to 44 miles an hour, helping you push through a strong headwind or keep up with a fast-moving action scene. In addition to faster, more efficient performance, Mavic 2 gives you the highest quality live view of any DJI drone. To do it, we created a brand new transmission system called OcuSync 2.0. It switches automatically between 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz frequencies to give you better interference resistance. And we've optimized performance by separating the uplink and downlink signals. And now they work on different frequencies, making this the most reliable transmission system we've ever developed. And even here, Mavic 2 offers important new improvements for visual creators. The live view image displays at full 1080p resolution at distances of up to 5 miles versus 1.25 with Mavic Pro. But it's not really about the distance. The stronger system means that the drone can maintain a strong link even when its environment is jammed by Wi-Fi and other electronic devices. Original resolution photos are also saved directly to your mobile device, letting you immediately share what you create without the extra step of transferring files from the drone or fussing with an SD card. And just like Mavic Air, the days of forgetting to put your SD card in the drone, or worse, leaving it at home, are a thing of the past. Mavic 2 has 8 gigabytes of onboard storage with additional capacity using a removable SD card. As with all DJI drones, you have total control over how you store and manage your data using our secure products. These design improvements and the new OcuSync 2.0 transmission system make Mavic 2 one of the fastest, quietest, and most reliable drones we've ever created, giving you confidence you'll be able to get the shot when it matters most. But the performance improvements of Mavic 2 don't stop there. It's also our smartest and safest drone yet. Its flight autonomy system has the most cameras and sensors we've ever created and built into a drone. Mavic 2 has stereo vision obstacle sensing in the front, bottom, and back, and a time of flight sensor on the top will help it from ascending into an object above. While using active track, a pair of brand new side obstacle avoidance sensors are engaged, increasing the drone's ability to sense its environment in more directions. These side obstacle sensors are also engaged in tripod mode. Together, the 10 sensors on Mavic 2 feed its flight autonomy system an unprecedented level of data. that's processed in real time to better sense the environment around it. Now, with longer downfield front and rear sensors, we've also been able to improve Mavic 2's advanced pilot assistance system, a feature first introduced on Mavic Air. APAS uses its onboard sensors to automatically pilot the drone around obstacles so you don't lose the shot. With better sensors and algorithms, it can plot several possible paths around an object for smoother flight performance. This powerful combination of sensors and tracking technology deliver autonomous flight capabilities that give you an entirely new way to approach your shots with even more confidence in complex terrain. And at the end of your flight, when it comes time to land, our vision positioning system now includes a downward-facing LED light that turns on automatically to illuminate the landing area. This ensures high-precision landings, even in low-light situations like at sunset. Mavic 2 will also leverage our GEO system, a technology that DJI pioneered to educate pilots about their flight environment. Using GEO, pilots receive location-based notifications about where flight is limited due to regulations or safety concerns, and to automatically help keep drones away from sensitive locations like airports. In addition, our GEO system incorporates critical updates on temporary flight restrictions, such as where wildfires are happening. From takeoff to landing, Mavic 2 is the safest and smartest DJI drone you can get. Simply put, the Mavic 2 series with its Pro and Zoom editions are the best aerial imaging products we've ever created in the consumer drone category. They're a marvel of modern engineering. In the coming weeks, you're going to see breathtaking images and videos captured by Mavic 2 that would not have been possible without all of the creative technology that we've packed into them. Even better, you are going to create those images and videos. Mavic 2 Zoom and Mavic 2 Pro will give you new ways to capture inspiring photos and videos with their brand new cameras. They make creating sophisticated cinematic content easy with intelligent flight modes like hyperlapse, dolly zoom, and active track. And with OcuSync 2.0 plus 11 cameras and sensors helping the drone map and sense its environment, it's the safest and smartest drone we've ever created. Now, to tell you more about his real-world experience using it, I'd like to invite up one of the world's most renowned adventure photographers and videographers. He's a professional climber, mountaineer, and skier, and he just spent a couple of weeks in Greenland putting Mavic 2 to the test. Please join me in welcoming Jimmy Chin to the stage. Jimmy?
Good job. Hi, good morning. Thank you, Michael. It is a great pleasure and honor to be here, talk about the new Mavic 2. I was one of the few very lucky people to get to field test this piece of equipment. So today I was going to talk a little bit about my background as a professional climber, skier, photographer, and filmmaker, and also share some of my thoughts about the Mavic 2 from an end user's point of view. So I grew up in Mankato, Minnesota, which is not exactly a hotbed for high-altitude alpinists. First-generation Chinese. My parents were from China. They had very simple expectations for me. You can be a doctor, a lawyer, or go into finance, you know. So when I moved to Yosemite and became a climbing bum and lived out of my car for 7 years, they were mortified. And I would call my sister and say, hey, how are mom and dad doing? And she would say, Mom just keeps repeating, I raised a homeless man. But since that time, I spent the last 20 years exploring the world, putting together kind of cutting-edge expeditions, really to all 7 continents. And I started shooting, and here's some photos from an expedition where we skied Everest. I wish I had a drone at that time. I didn't. What I have been doing as a photographer and a filmmaker really spans the whole spectrum. I think I might be the ultimate end user for this Mavic 2 because, you know, I've been shooting for the Geographic for 15 years, editorial, the Times Magazine, Vanity Fair, all the way to commercial clients like the North Face and Apple and so on and so forth. As a filmmaker, I work on nonfiction documentary to branded content to big budget commercials for Chase Bank. So really, the work that I do spans a lot of space. I would say I'm really a visual storyteller, and a big part of my job is to bring a new perspective, whether that's visually or narratively. A few years ago, I made a film called Meru. It was a theatrical release, national. It won the Audience Award at Sundance, and we spent years making this film. And these photos are from that film where, you know, we were shooting on slope. In the process of making the film, I realized that I really needed a different perspective. We didn't have a drone at that time, and I spent, you don't even want to know how much money I spent on CGI to create the shots I needed to give this climb context and the mountain scale. Since that time, I started shooting with a drone, both photography and film. So this spring, when DJI called me and said, hey, we'd love for you to field test this new drone we have, I thought, well, where should I take them? They said, we want you to go someplace very extreme. We really want to test the capacity for this drone. So I thought about Greenland. I've been wanting to go there for 20 years. It's probably one of the last, you know, really significant remote areas I hadn't been to, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity. And Greenland is kind of this mystical place. You know, it's ocean, it's icebergs, it's big mountains, and the conditions are very extreme. Tons of wind, very cold, huge temperature gradients, salt water, you know, all these things that aren't great for technology. So we decided to head to Greenland. I put together a really great team of climbers and skiers, a couple folks from DJI, and we headed out. And we, you know, as a professional skier or climber, we're out to do first ascents or first descents. So climb things that haven't been climbed before, ski things that haven't been skied before. And Greenland has tons of unskied lines like this one, just kind of shooting out of the ocean. So we would travel by boat through these fjords, and here we are approaching one of the big couloirs. This is a perfect example. I shot this image on slope, and then we got this image, which totally changes the scale of what we're doing. That's why I love using drones. And it's really important for me to be able to show scale and context. The other thing about trips like this is that I need reliable equipment. These are places that I can't go back to and reshoot. It has to happen at that time, and it has to happen when I'm there. The cold here, I mean, in the evenings was probably 0 degrees, very, very cold and very windy. And so this was an awesome place to test the Mavic 2. So very reliable, that is really critical. Every piece of equipment for me is, you know, very, very important. We literally cut the tags off our jackets to save weight. We cut our toothbrushes in half to save weight. It's surprising how well you can actually brush your teeth with half a toothbrush, but as you can imagine, carrying every piece of equipment, we calculate very carefully. So the portability of this and the weight is amazing for me, because being able to shoot that quality footage and get photos of
Getting some buffering, sorry about that. Not sure there's anything I can do about that.
Quality is really, really important. I think Mavic 2 has a new 1-inch sensor that has a 20 megapixel image, and obviously able to shoot 4K. I literally can use this now on commercial productions. The other part, probably one of the other really important key features is on the Mavic 2 zoom, which I believe is the first consumer drone that has an optical zoom, and it allows me to shoot parallax footage that normally I used to have to use a $500,000 Cineflex system on a helicopter. It costs 25, 30 grand a day to operate something like that. And now we can do it with a drone that I can carry in my pack, which is amazing. I was so blown away by what we got out of this drone, and here is going to be a little piece that we shot while we were in Greenland.
I was once told that there's two great risks in life: risking too much and risking too little. In the game of ski mountaineering, you're kind of always trying to find that edge. When you're starting to push yourself, you start to get into higher risk terrain, higher consequences. You have to be able to make good decisions in the mountains, and there's a ton of variables. Different weather patterns, rain, snow, avalanche conditions, looking at the objectives, understanding your abilities. You're all amped up after skiing a big line and don't want to sleep. Before you know it, it's like 1 in the morning and you're still totally wired. I'm Jimmy Chin, and I'm a photographer, filmmaker. The greatest thing about the skiing and the climbing and the photography and the filmmaking is that they've been incredible vehicles to drive my exploration of the world. They give reason, they give purpose to what I do.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you again, Jimmy. It's incredible to hear how a top pro like Jimmy has already used Mavic 2 to capture some stunning scenes. And I think I have to add Greenland to my list of top travel destinations. It was just incredible. I'm so excited about the Mavic 2 series. As Jimmy showed us, these new drones are going to empower you to capture creative perspectives in entirely new ways. And they come with some great accessories to help make your flying experience even better. I'm happy to tell you that we've unbundled what was previously known as the Fly More combo. Now, at any time, you can decide to buy the Fly More kit. It includes 2 additional batteries, a multi-battery charging hub, a car charger, extra propellers, and a travel bag to hold it all. Available for $319, saving you $145 if you had purchased all those accessories separately. And for additional protection, We're making DJI Care Refresh available for Mavic 2 as well. DJI Care Refresh offers a comprehensive warranty program, and it provides up to 2 replacements for a small additional charge, giving you more peace of mind every time you fly. And in the coming months, our customer service team will introduce a gimbal and camera replacement service so that you can switch the camera on the drone without having to buy an entirely new one. And for the first time, we're introducing DJI Trade Up, a technology trade-in program that lets you exchange used DJI gear and other electronics to receive credit in the DJI online store toward a new purchase. This program is available in the United States and China, and it's the perfect incentive for current DJI users to upgrade your gear. Now, for the information I know you've all been waiting for. Both of these products and their accessories will be available on DJI.com and from authorized DJI resellers around the world. Mavic 2 Zoom will retail for $1,249. Mavic 2 Pro for $1,449. Now, for those of you who are following the headlines leading up to today's event, I want to thank you for your excitement and, most importantly, your patience. I'm excited to tell you that you won't have to wait long to get your Mavic 2, because we've used this extra time to make it available now. If you purchase on DJI.com, Mavic 2 will ship right away. It's a first for DJI, and we hope it was worth the wait. We're incredibly excited about these products. We can't wait for you to get them in the air and see what you create. As with many of our products, they're used in positive ways that we could have never imagined, to save lives in some of the harshest environments known to man, to strengthen conservation and research efforts across the globe, and to perform industrial work-like inspections. DJI's technology has enabled a new kind of work around the globe that has created companies and added thousands of new jobs. In fact, the FAA estimates that there's over 100,000 commercial drone pilots in the US alone. And based on what we see in other markets, we can safely say that there's hundreds of thousands of commercial drone pilots around the world using drone technology for work. This thriving ecosystem is one to watch, and we'll be celebrating it at our annual commercial drone conference called Airworks later this year. So if you use your DJI drone for work and you want to learn more about this industry, I look forward to seeing you there. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you again for joining us. We're going to end by showing a short video. All of the footage was shot on Mavic 2, and it's absolutely breathtaking. We hope it inspires you to create in new ways and to see the bigger picture. And for those of you here with us today in Brooklyn after this video is done, I invite you to come next door, where you'll be able to get hands-on with the Mavic 2 series, see it in action, capturing some beautiful photos and videos of the Manhattan skyline. Thank you again for coming, and have a great day.
We cast these images into the cosmos. If another intelligent civilization intercepts this and understands us, here is our message. This is a present from a small, distant world. A world painted with majestic waters, large forests, and indescribable landforms. A world possessing an existential wealth beyond comprehension, rich with the gift of life. Floating amidst the cosmic void, this pale blue dot is but a canvas to our imagination. In a quest for understanding
At DJI, true innovation is seeing the bigger picture. Every iteration is the culmination of all that we do to bring you the very best. Here's everything you've been waiting for and beyond. This is Mavic 2. The aircraft comes in two new editions, Mavic 2 Pro and Mavic 2 Zoom. Both cameras utilize DJI's latest 3-axis gimbal technology, ensuring smooth, stable footage in any situation. Mavic 2 Pro commands a powerful 1-inch sensor, offering you greater image quality with superior light and color performance. Co-engineered with Hasselblad, the new camera houses an adjustable aperture lens for more control over your lighting environment. Captures stunning aerial photos at 20 megapixels with extreme detail. Mavic 2 Pro supports a 10-bit D-Log M color profile that yields higher dynamic range for more flexibility in the grading room. Mavic 2 Zoom is all about dynamic perspective. With a 2x optical zoom lens, it offers greater safety, efficiency, and more creative opportunities. The 48mm focal length compresses your perspective, enhancing the parallax effect for a classic cinematic look. You're able to punch in quickly for a tighter shot, even from 100 meters away, keeping a safe distance from your subject. Don't be fooled by its size. Mavic 2's zoom lens is powerful, constantly adjusting to your commands for seamless zoom control and autofocus tracking. This keeps your subject clear while you focus on framing. Mavic 2 Zoom gives you access to dolly zoom for an otherworldly warped perspective. Both editions record 4K video with an advanced H.265 compression, so your images retain even more detail. Speed things up in a dynamic aerial hyperlapse with a simple tap of a button. 4 different modes give you a variety of shots for any time-lapse situation. Mavic 2 also supports enhanced HDR photo, an improved technique that blends a sequence of photos for greater dynamic range and image clarity. It wouldn't be a Mavic if it couldn't go with you anywhere, anytime. We kept that same foldable design and tweaked a few things that make a world of difference. After countless hours of research and testing, Mavic 2's refined chassis and low-noise propellers make it DJI's most advanced aerodynamic aircraft to date. These subtle yet powerful improvements give you a smoother, quieter flight for greater discretion when the situation requires. Mavic 2 extends your creative potential with up to 31 minutes of flight time and a max speed of 72 kilometers per hour in sport mode. The all-new OcuSync 2.0 provides a 1080p transmission signal up to 8 kilometers, so you can edit full HD footage directly from the cache on your mobile device. 2.4 to 5.8 gigahertz auto switching offers better performance in environments with busy signal interference. For the first time in a DJI drone, Mavic 2 boasts obstacle sensors on all sides of the aircraft. Its digital nervous system continually transmits data to a new, more powerful central processor. The aircraft analyzes every inch of its surroundings to move around obstacles without stopping, so you can focus on capturing the perfect shot. When you have a need for tracking at high speeds, stay fully immersed in the action with Active Track 2.0. Aided by its vision systems, Mavic 2 maps a 3D view of the environment for greater accuracy in tracking up to 72 kilometers per hour. Trajectory prediction algorithms also help to maintain course when your subject is blocked by an obstruction. DJI goggles users can enjoy an enhanced experience with a clearer video feed and lower latency. When it comes to portability or quality, small details or the big picture, your vision or reality, Mavic 2 brings the best of both worlds. So you can explore the outer reaches of your imagination and create content that truly feels out of this world.
All right, guys. So what do you think? Not a lot of surprises there at all.
At
right?
DJI, true innovation is...
Kill this from plane. All right. So, what do you think, guys? Seems pretty much like I think what we expected. There wasn't a whole lot new there. I think pretty much everything that they talked about was almost all there. I'm actually kind of struggling to think of what we didn't already know from the leaks. For me, I still say, and it's kind of funny, but the downward landing light is one of the coolest features. I can't believe nobody's actually implemented that before. I've seen a lot of people, really struggle with that. When you're in your house, you don't have GPS connection and you got low light, and I've seen a lot of people crash their aircraft in their house just because there's no GPS or bad GPS signal and low light, and so maybe having that light down there maybe would help. I don't know, but it sounds like that light would only be when you're landing, so maybe it wouldn't help in normal scenarios, but maybe they can. Maybe they'll be able to turn it on at any time. That would be kind of cool, right? If you can actually control when it turns on and so on. So let's see. Yeah, the hyperlapse I think is a really cool feature, and I think that's going to get used a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of hyperlapse videos on the internet in the coming time frame. My phone's blowing up there. I got all kinds of buzzes going on. I'm excited to see that they're actually shipping pretty much immediately, so that's awesome. So those of you guys who have not ordered yet, if you're ordering either one of the Mavic 2s, I'd appreciate you using the affiliate links that we have. You can order direct from DJI. It sounds like retailers are probably going to be having it soon. Has anybody had a chance to go out and take a look? Yeah, James, you're right about the pricing. There was a lot of speculation that the Zoom was going to be more than the Pro, which just didn't seem right. Nobody, there was rumors of that, but everybody's like, what? Why would that be more? So yeah, the pricing is something that's interesting. The $319 for the Fly More kit, as they're calling it now, instead of the Fly More combo. So basically what you do is you pick your aircraft, either the Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic 2 Zoom. You select that, and then after you select that, then it gives you the option for buying other stuff to go along with it. And the kit is one of those. The Fly More kit is one of those. Has 2 batteries, some propellers, kind of the normal stuff, a multi-charger, and those kinds of things. And then you can also buy batteries. I think we're 119 each. So yeah, interesting. Let's see. So what else we got going on? Let me switch over to the chat. Ooh, we got a lot of chatting going on. Appreciate that, guys. So S. Kingsbury, Wonderful still have the annoying tap to focus. They didn't actually talk about that, did they? That's interesting. I don't know. Video more informative than the entire previous hour. I was complete agreement with you on that, Andrew. I almost made the same comment myself in the chat. Palmetto Moon, not one mention of the controller. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And maybe what I should do is flip over to my stuff I'm looking for screen, and let me switch to that. So these are some of the things that I was looking for, and they honestly didn't cover hardly any of this. So they of course covered the price, which we knew they were going to. The Zoom is not more; it's $200 cheaper than the Pro, which makes sense. How do they market the Pro versus the Zoom? Really, the only differentiation is that camera, right? Do you want a zoom, or do you want the high dynamic range of the 1-inch sensor? And they really didn't even go into that a whole lot. I'm interested that they say Hasselblad's involved, but they didn't say anything about really how it is involved. How is it a Hasselblad camera? It's not a medium format camera. Did they design it? They didn't talk anything about that. So I'm a little disappointed with that. What does the RC look like? I actually was on a different screen when they showed it, but I think someone in the notes in the chat here was saying that it was the same as the old Mavic Pro. Is that right? And so let's see. Yeah, so that's interesting. Interchangeable cameras. Yeah, okay. Removable camera for Osmo type device. They didn't talk anything about that, right? How do you attach NDPL filters to the Pro? They didn't talk anything about that either. So that's interesting. So I've still got some questions that I'll be looking to try and get some answers to. So yeah. Mark Barrett, will the Platinum Pro get any of the new features through updates? That's a good question. I could see maybe the hyperlapses going to the original generation Mavic Pro. I can't imagine the dolly zoom would really become a feature. That's really going to be a feature of the Mavic 2 zoom. I don't know what other features you could really implement. Oh, one of the other questions I should have been added to my stuff I'll be looking for is, one of the questions I really have is around the speed of the device. So they say, okay, it'll go about 45 miles an hour, but that's sports mode, right? And a lot of times in sports mode, the gimbal is not really stabilized. You can't really get cinematic pictures and video in sport mode a lot of times. So my question is, how fast can you really go and get fully stabilized video, right, where the gimbal's not moving with the movement of the aircraft? It's fully stabilized. So that's one of the things I really want to see as well. So let's see what else we got going on, guys. Easy Flyer, appreciate you joining. Bruce Boston, hyperlapse killer feature. I really do think that's going to be we don't need anybody doing that. Hyperlapse, I think that's going to be a really popular feature. I think you're going to see a lot of YouTube videos about the hyperlapse feature. That's something that a lot of people are going to be. Same old controller, tap to focus, not sure. James, we don't know the price. Yeah, we didn't know the price. Downward last pointer would be more precise. Laser pointer, I'm guessing you mean more precise and easier to see in daylight. Odd choice. Yeah, probably more expensive is probably my guess. And I wonder what the power requirements are for something like that. MMAC 360-degree sensing system, great. Yeah, that's one of the things that was not 100% sure, and I should have had my stuff to be looking for, is there going to be a sensor on top of it? And it looks like there is. So it does look like they have a 360 sensing system, so that's cool. Cardino, Wazer, most important improvement is 1080p feed for goggle flyers. Yeah, so how do you like Cardino? And I apologize, I'm butchering your name. How do you like the goggles? I've never used the goggles. I would love to do it. David Ma, put in my order while the Explorer guy was talking. He is a fascinating guy, I'm sure, but wasn't giving a lot of information about the drone, so I used that time to put in my order. Palmetto and David Ma, I did the Mavic 2 Pro with the Fly More kit and DJI Care Refresh. Let's see, Palmetto, if you rely on obstacle avoidance, you don't know how to fly. Yeah, you know what? A lot of us are not pro flyers, Palmetto Moon, so obstacle avoidance helps a lot of us stay out of trouble. I'm certainly not a pro flyer, but with everything, I think there's a place for everything, right? And sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's good. A lot of times I fly with obstacle sensors turned off, but there is a place and time, I think, for them that it's very useful and can save you from an expensive repair bill or a couple weeks visit to the DJI refurbishment, for replacement. So. No Mavic Air news. No, I don't think anybody expected Mavic Air news for this. So that'll be, Mavic Air just came out in early part of the year. Great aircraft, but it's not, the Mavic 2 Pro zoom. It's got, battery and uses Wi-Fi and so on. So there's. But I like how they're stratifying, right? So, a lot of people, oh, well, the Mavic Air is not a real Mavic. Well, yeah, it's a real Mavic because it's a foldable 4K, gimbal, three-axis gimbal, and so on. But it's stratifying, right? It's kind of like Toyota, right? Toyota doesn't just have one car. They have they have multiple cars that fit different needs. And even within, if you're buying a Camry, there's multiple Camrys, right? There's the low-end one. There's the one that's, has everything in it. So there's differentiation, even within a product line. So I think there's a lot. Yeah, Don, $1,900. That's a lot of cashola, isn't it? Mark Barrett, what features will apply? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Brian was hoping gimbal would be removable. Yes, that would be awesome. I was really hoping for that Osmo kind of. I kept hoping for that. Oh, there's going to be one more thing, right? But it doesn't seem to be the case. Let's see what else we got going on, guys. Mark Barrett, will Platinum Pro get any new features? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works. Test will show if the output quality improves that much. Yeah, that's. I think there's going to be a lot of people out there doing side-by-side testing of the Mavic Pro and the Mavic 2 Pro, for instance. And I'm really interested to see what people do with the zoom. I wish I had the cash to be able to buy both of those, because you know what? A lot of people say for the zoom, well, I got to zoom with my right stick. Well, yes and no. There's times where you can't legally, morally, or physically get to a location. They showed an example in the video of wildlife, right? You don't want to get too close to wildlife and disturb them. You're going to scare them and so on. And if you've got a 4x zoom, two optical and 2 digital lossless, you got 4x basically zoom. Maybe you can still get that image that you're trying to capture without disturbing the wildlife, right? Or maybe maybe you're in a populated setting. A lot of countries around the world have regulations where you can't be within a certain number of meters of people or a building or something, and maybe that zoom just allows you. Maybe you can't physically get your aircraft to where you want it to be to get the image you want, but maybe with that zoom, right, it allows you to punch in and get the image that you're trying to capture. So, there's a lot of reasons why that might be useful for that zoom. So, just saying, oh, my right stick is the zoom. Yes and no to a certain degree, and also if you look into how lenses work and optics work, they talked a little bit about it in the video, but there is a difference between physically moving closer and the way the optics on the cameras work for and of course, because I'm talking in front of a bunch of people, I'm forgetting the right words, but it really kind of changes your perspective. Hey, Steve Carpenter, appreciate you joining us. Let's see, Tesla show. Let's see, just trying to go through the comments. Tracking features, demos, technology, concept seems interesting. What about the gimbal bubble? Yeah, I imagine. I think some of the leaked pictures showed basically a very similar type of gimbal protector. It'll be interesting to see how that works and see if it's still kind of as hokey as the original one was. The Mavic Air gimbal protector is kind of equivalent to the Mavic Pro. Gimbal bubble is really good, and that's actually one of the things I think. Oh, and I talked about this briefly before. This gimbal is so protected in here, right? When you're carrying this around, having this on here is great. But also, you've got so much protection with the gimbal up inside here. I think a lot of people were still looking for the gimbal to be more protected, because on the Mavic Pro, the original one, first off, the gimbal was super duper lightweight in terms of its strength, right? There just wasn't a lot of strength there. And secondly, it's just hanging out there, right? It's just a big appendage hanging out there. And I know there's jokes to go there. That's what she said, right? But anyways, it's just hanging out there, whereas with the Mavic Air, they've really kind of put this structure around it to help protect it. So in a crash, that gimbal's still hanging out there. It's going to be the first thing you break. One of the things that I think is useful is Freewell sells. Let me pull out. This is my Mavic Air case. Freewell has, well, ND filters for one. I hope I didn't take it out of here. They also have this UV filter to help protect the lens. So let me try and get it out of here. Oh. So basically, it's just it's like an ND filter, but it's clear. And so for a lot of times, it's very useful. When you crash, one of the things that breaks is the lens on the camera, right? Your gimbal might still be okay, but you break or crack the lens on your Mavic Air or your Mavic Pro or any of those, and having this little, let me pull it out, this little UV filter on there, it's kind of like having like a little extra protector up front. So maybe you break this for just a few bucks instead of breaking the actual lens on your gimbal. So that might be something you want to check out, and that's something that Freewell makes. And Freewell did send this to me quite a while ago to do a review on, and I apologize, Freewell, I haven't actually talked about this on camera before, but I use it quite a lot. I think it's a good investment. It doesn't change your picture at all. Anyways, so let's so protection of that gimbal is and camera is one of the concerns, I think, in terms of, oh, and yeah, my ND filters are always with me. So that's something that's interesting. They did, Andrew, they did, I think, talk about manual aperture control. Mechanical aperture control is what they talk about. So I think that's definitely going to be the case. And I think it was from f2.8 to f11. So that's something that you can help control how much light gets in the camera. Before the video, I was talking about the iris as an example, and I think they did talk about it in the video if I remember right. Let's see. Front is removable on the Hasselblad. I hope you're right. I haven't seen any demonstrations of that. James, if you've got some examples of that, I would be interested to hear that. Mentioned battery time. I think they did. I think they said 31 minutes, right? Claimed flight minutes. But of course, 30 minutes, that's, in their perfect environment. Nobody actually gets 31 minutes. That's probably pushing the battery all the way, much further than you should for safety's sake, and doesn't give you an extra buffer for safety's sake. And you're flying in the wind, you're doing stops and starts and hovering and things like that. So it's gonna be something less than 30 minutes. But that's what they're saying. I think the original Mavic Pro was 27 minutes. Let's see, attendees getting hands-on briefs. Yep, I'm sure they are. Everyday boy, 31 minutes. They say improved aerodynamics by 19% and motors by only 1 minute extra. No way. Well, the Mavic Pro Platinum, you're right, I think was, 30 minutes. The original Mavic Pro is 27 minutes. It's a heavier aircraft for whatever reason. I don't know why it's heavier. I'm not sure that the battery is actually bigger. I think it's a 3,800 milliamp hour battery, if I saw that correctly. That wasn't in this video, but I think the FCC filings that I saw earlier this morning, maybe. Let's see. Attendees, let's see. Thanks to good luck with your new bird. Does it come in red? I haven't seen any colors. I think checkmark. My guess is it's like the original Mavic Pro, and it's kind of like Henry Ford back in the day. You can buy a Model T in any color you want as long as it's black. I've always enjoyed that comment. I use versions of that with my boys. Yeah, you can do whatever you want as long as it's this, right? But anyway, yeah. Let's see. Was a mention. Let's see. Sorry, the chat just flew by me. I do not speak Russian. I apologize for that. I barely speak English. Let's see. And Mike, if there's somebody misbehaving, feel free to help me give them a boot. There was one guy I already gave a boot. But if you see somebody else that I've missed, feel free to help me out there. I'd appreciate it. Andrew, total BS. Beefing up the inventory was a reason for the month-long delay. They could have made us wait on delivery and drive up demand. What's the real reason? Yeah, I really don't know what the reason was. There could have been a technical problem. I just think that they originally scheduled it for when they did because of the Autel and Parrot, but then once they saw what Autel and Parrot came out with, they're like, well, if we're not 1,000% ready, let's go ahead and delay it because Autel and Parrot, and although those are great aircraft, they don't move the industry forward. They're not like you know tech. You know, they've got some great features, but they really just don't move the industry forward, and they're not going to cause any problems to DJI. They're not disruptors, right? And so rather than doing what DJI did with GoPro and the Karma, 2 years ago, and rushed it out the door when they weren't 100% ready, I think they kind of panicked. And they weren't quite ready for it, and they caused all kinds of problems with their delays and inventory and that. And so I think they just kind of looked and said, well, why are we going to rush things out? They're not these other companies aren't disrupting us. We're still selling what we already have. Let's just push it out and make sure that we're 1,000% ready. So that's kind of my take on it. What time and fly? 31 minutes, I think they said. Mike, thanks for answering. So everyday boy, you're gonna kind of hang out and wait. It sounds like, and I think that's very reasonable. Switch from Pro to Zoom would be nice. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if you could just switch those gimbals and go from the Zoom to the Pro camera, just a swap, right? I have a feeling that that's probably what they're one of the big features of the Phantom 5 is going to be whenever they get around to it. Thanks, Nicholas. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining us. So I have a feeling that the Phantom 5, one of the things it's going to be is so with the Mavic 2, they've kind of created some. You have to make a choice, right? Well, do you want this or do you want this? Do you want the 1-inch sensor or do you want the zoom feature? My guess is with the Phantom 5, it's going to be the next step up, which is really kind of taking the two and putting them together and saying, oh, okay, now I can get a really good sensor, which the Phantom 5 already has, right? But it's going to take the camera to another step, right? To be able to do zoom stuff and have interchangeable lenses is my guess, and so on. So, yeah, so interesting. We'll see how that works out. Hey Jason, appreciate you joining from New Zealand. What time of night is it there? Ronald, yeah, Mike. Are you gonna order anything, Mike? If so, what are you gonna do? Object avoidance is a really unique feature. Not only 360, in fact, spherical. In fact, the only way to do it spherical or not object avoidance at all. I'm not sure that I agree with all or nothing. It definitely is useful to have it all around, but sometimes this is annoyance having object avoidance because you can't get your aircraft where you want to put it because it won't let you, right? And so having the ability to shut those off, and I hope it'll be interesting to see. Will they give you the ability to choose which sensors you want to shut off? Do you want to turn off the top sensor? Do you want to turn off the back sensor? Do you want to turn off the bottom sensor? Can I just shut off one of those aspects and leave the others on? I personally think that would be very useful, but I don't know if they'll go that far with it. So interesting to see. ND filters not available yet. I have a sneaking suspicion that companies like Freewell and the other big boys in the ND filter world are going to be pumping those out pretty quick, is my guess. Can't wait to give those a try. Let's see. Let's see. Oh. chats. And guys, I really appreciate you guys joining. I've really enjoyed having this conversation with you guys and watching this. You know, it's kind of a virtual world, and you know, it's great to have you know, friends and people from all over the world be able to join together and have a conversation, watch something. You know, kind of get together, watch a game, right? Or get together and watch an event, and it's fun to be able to kind of virtually come together and have this. So I appreciate you all joining. I'll take this time just for a quick second. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Hit a like if you like the content that I've been putting out there. And if you're buying a drone from DJI or from Amazon, use one of my affiliate links. I would really appreciate it. I get a little bit of a kickback, so it helps me be able to do things like this, buy lights and cameras and computer and stuff to be able to put these videos out. It's not cheap doing this, so I appreciate your guys' support. And I really enjoy doing this with you guys. All right, so 1 kilogram of flying DJI. Constant problems is not that I'm expecting to get. At least half the weight. Yeah, so half the weight would be nice. If you want half the weight, you got to go with Mavic Air, though. I think, you know, technology is just going to get smaller and smaller, right? So, you know, just think back 2 years ago when they introduced the first Mavic Pro, everybody was just absolutely amazed that you could get that technology in that size, because before that it was the Phantom 5 or the Phantom series was really, you know, set the standard for a small drone that that, you know, was you know, usable. And you know, that when the Mavic Pro came out, you know, it was kind of an industry shaker. So, you know, the amount of technology that can put in there is amazing. I am a little bit surprised to see the weight go up a little bit, but for me, that's not, that extra 150 grams is not a big deal. I can't wait until they can fit all that technology that they're putting in the Mavic 2 Pro into this size right here. This, I think, is the perfect size. This is a great size. Although I know a lot of us would like something under 250 grams that does everything these things do. But you know, that's coming, right? That's technology. Things get smaller and smaller as technology goes on. Let's see. Don't forget to use your priority shipping coupon. Yep. Trade in value on the new Mavic new Mavic Pro is only $296. Yeah, those trade-in programs are great for people that don't want to go through the hassle of trying to sell it. You're not always going to get the best price for it, you know, but you know, it at least is an option. You get something instead of just leaving it sitting on your desk or on a shelf or something. It allows you to be able to trade it out. Let's see, AR-23, got the Nafi, the quality of the footage is good, and I can look up, DJI can't. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the angle of the camera is, you know, how high you can go. I'm curious, AR-23, how often do you use the ability to look, you know, straight up? You know, I think when you need it, that's a fantastic feature, but I just think the usage, the number of times that's useful to look that far up is probably not super big. We got Caleb sitting here. He's actually sick today and home from school, so he's that's why he's all wrapped up, and he actually shouldn't be here at all. He should be at school, but he's not feeling well. So what's going on, buddy? Okay. All right.
Just making sure that it's
Love you, buddy.
with you. Love you.
All right. Make sure you're drinking too, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So sorry about that. Let's see. Aircraft are the same except for the cameras. One has zoom, the other has higher dynamic range. Yeah, I think that for the most part kind of sums it up, Ronald. Mike, you ordered the Pro version? Jason, 3:18 a.m. That's some dedication right there. That sounds like something I'd probably do. I appreciate you joining us. Andrew, prices of used Mavic Pro are already dropping. That may be the best deal of all. 51 drones, freaking awesome. Thanks for joining us, dude. I really enjoy your videos as well. For you guys, if you guys haven't ever checked out 51 drones, I really suggest you go check him out. He makes some great content. So I appreciate you joining us here, 51. Yeah, Don. Not surprised. The big channels, Justine, and I'm sure Casey, and I'm sure Peter McKinnon, and a lot of those guys will probably be coming out with their Mavic 2 reviews shortly. Captain Mesh Gaming getting a Mavic 2 Pro. That's what I went for. Haven't used the Nafi camera to look up other than to try it out. Yeah, I actually picked up a Parrot Nafi right before I was going on vacation. I ran into some minor issues with it, and I didn't have time to really work through it, so I actually ended up returning it. But after I get through doing some of this Mavic 2 reviews and videos and stuff, I want to go back to the Parrot and try and get some reviews and play around with that as well. Thanks, Jason. I will pass that along to Caleb. 51. So you went for the Pro as well. Awesome. So I think that the Pro is really going to be pretty popular. Although I am conflicted because I really can see the benefits of the zoom camera, the zoom lens. How that ability to punch in 4 times can be really, really useful. Although I do have to say, most of the time, most of the stuff I do, one of my cameras is just sitting back there. Most of my cameras that I use on my regular camera are prime lenses, so generally I'm using my feet for that. But there's just some times that you need that ability to be able to punch in and out with the lens, and so that zoom, I'm conflicted with it. So, but I put my money on the Pro. I can't wait to be able to play around with it. Let's see. Improvement in technology is really amazing, but honestly little in features. Feature like Nafi offered more improvement, including zoom and hyperlapse. Lower output quality, but a fraction of the price. Yeah, that price is actually a big deal. Thanks. Vienna, Austria. I have never. So I've been to Europe a few times. I've been to Germany. I've been to Spain. I've spent quite a lot of time in the UK, but I've not been to Austria. I would love to go to Austria. Maybe one of these days. So anyways, guys, I really appreciate you guys all joining in on this live chat. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate all your interactions, and I'm excited. So look forward to more videos. Again, if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to see you hit that subscribe button. I've got Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links are in the description down below. A lot of times it's much easier to put content out on those. That's much quicker to get it out in those formats than it is to make a video. So a lot of times I'll put some information out on those, and then I'll follow it up with a video. So so if you haven't already, if you're on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, go subscribe to those as well. Dilemons, it has both optical zoom, so 2 times optical zoom and 2 times digital lossless zoom. So basically, it ends up with an equivalent of a 4x zoom for the most part. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys joining. It's been fun. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, or for those of you guys in New Zealand, a good rest of your night. I hope you get some sleep. If it's beautiful outside, get out, go do something fun. For those of you guys got to go back to work or are currently working, get back to work. Anyways, thanks for joining. Get out and go fly it. See you guys later. Take care.